So far so good. What can you say? Where have you gotten to now?
Gotten to how?
In terms of learning.
Where can I say I've gotten to? Let's say chatting, even my chatting self. I don't know, but I know about the stochastic and RSI. I know when it gets to the red line is for a sell. When it gets to the blue line is for a buy. My charting is not really that strong. I'm trying to identify the market. I know an uptrend, I know a downtrend, I know the consolidation. Well, you know that market geometry where you have to chart it out through market geometry. I don't really know that much.
Okay.
Should I go to trading view?
Hold on. All right. So first things first, let's talk about price movement, how price moves. Okay. So in this training, we are going to establish some basics. Okay. We're going to talk about trends.
Okay.
And structure. We're going to talk about trend and structure. Market structure. Okay.
Okay. No more price movements.
This is what we are going to talk about in this training. Okay. We want to take it step by step. We want to take it step
so
by
step. We are starting with trend and structure.
Yeah. All right. First of all, you need to learn how to identify trends. Okay. Now, how can you identify trend? How is a trend? Now, a trend is upward or downward movement of the market. Okay. Now we have various types of trend. We have uptrend, downtrend, and we also have what we call consolidation. Okay. So now let me make the consolidation black. Make this blue. Okay. Now, this right here is what we call sideways movement. aka consolidation. Okay.
So how about this? I put you on VIP in Leviticus. Let me turn up the right button. How about this? Get your rich money out. Don't waste my time. That's how it is.
Okay. Now, this red one is what we know as downtrend, which is pretty bearish Very smooth. Okay. Now this right here is called what? Uptrend. AK bullish. Bullish move. Exactly. Okay. Now, what makes up the sideways move, which is the consolidation? What makes up the downtrend? What makes up the uptrend? Now, it is simple. If you see series of lower lows, if you see series of lower lows in this market, when you see price doing series of lower lows, you would be able to discern that, oh, price is coming down. Now, what do I mean by lower lows? This right here is high, and this right here is a low. Okay, this right here is a lower high. Why is that a lower high? Because it is lower than the previous high, right? So this right here is the lower low. Okay, right here we have a lower high, and this right here is a lower low. Okay, this right here is a lower high. So this is how we now identify that this is a downtrend. You understand? Now, if you look at this point now, let's see this. I'll make this a little bit thinner and so we have this. We have this. This low is, it used to be what? The previous the low. So normally what they say is that when price comes back to the previous low, you look for sales, right? But there is a reason why I did this extension. Later on in the training, we are going to establish that fact. Okay. Now, please write down. Please write down. For an uptrend, when price is going up, it starts from a low point to a high, then it gives you a higher low. Now notice that it has changed from lower high to higher low. So this is now a higher high, no more a lower low. This now a higher low. Okay, now price continuously drives to the upside. Okay, now when price is driving up like this, when price is driving up like this, it is considered an uptrend or a bullish move. Is that clear? Now, look here. Something I want to establish here as well. So let's make this red. Let's make this red. Now, we're going to come to this, why I put these structures here, but let's now come to the sideways move. When we talk about the sideways move, we have something like this and this, more or less like equal highs and equal lows. Okay, when you see repeated equal highs and equal lows, excuse me, and you see this repeated pattern of equal highs and equal lows, one thing you have to realize is that price is moving sideways. Okay, sometimes it might be coming down, but the move will be very, very short. And this sideways move is called consolidation. Are you following now? Now, why do we say it's consolidation? Because of series of equal highs or equal lows. Okay? And you see all this series of equal highs and equal lows, you know that for sure that this market is moving to the right hand side, it's moving sideways. Now, can you identify these moves in the market? Will you be able to identify all these moves in the market? How do you identify them? Now, first of all, let's start by identifying all these things in the market. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of this right now so that we can use it for future purpose. Okay, now I'll come back to why these structural lines are like this. And first of all, let's see if we can identify uptrends and downtrends and sideways trend. Okay, now I see a sideways move. I see a sideways move here. Price came up, it came down. Went up, it came down. So if I decide to put a box here,
How does she know he was like a father to us? Because it's stupid. And Cookie knows everything. No, she don't. Yes, she do. No, she don't. Yes, she do. Yo, she wants me to come out the same day she performed at Leviticus. Get your press. She's saying his daughter. Why she even here? And she supposed to be locked up for like 10 more years? I hear she ain't bad. Man, I would feel like performing at this show. You know, Tiana? What you do? They gave me personal effects. There wasn't much left, but I think you put you down. So, the last
Hello. Hello.
Sorry about that. My audio is good now, right?
Yes.
All right. Sorry
Do you
about.
have the previous audio?
You say what?
The previous audio.
Which audio?
You know you were recording. Will you continue?
Yes, it will continue.
Okay,
So
now.
let's now see. Where do we see equal odds? Can we say market has been
How did you
moving?
do that? How did you do that?
Okay, you come to your rectangle to pick up your rectangle to and draw it.
Okay.
Now, if you look right here, this is like a sideways move, right?
Yes.
So there is another sideways move here. That's a sideways move. That's
Okay.
a sideways move.
Sideways move.
And it's right here. So this is what you're going to do. First assignment is to go identify all these sideways moves and send it. Want to see your screenshot, send it to me. When market was going sideways.
You said?
Okay? When market was
You
going
said?
I want you to buy this move. When market is going sideways, you're going to identify them and send it to me. That's your first assignment. Okay?
Okay.
So assignment number 1, identify. Oh my goodness. Identify the sideways moves. Now, what are the
Okay.
attributes of sideways move? We say when we see series of equal highs and equal lows. When you look right here, market went from this point to this point and it came down to this low here. It went back up, came down. It wasn't trending downwards or it wasn't trending upwards. It was just trending sideways. It was going sideways. These are the ones we call consolidation. Now, when market starts moving up like this, the market starts moving up like this. When market starts moving up like this, these are what we call these are what we call trends. This is an uptrend. Let's see. This is a downtrend.
Okay. But here it looks like it was going up.
This one. Yeah.
No, yeah, this one looks like it was going up.
This one, right?
Yes.
It wasn't going up. It was just coming back to retest. So these are what? Downtrend.
Trends.
I'm going to remove this box now. Let's now identify with the high and the lows. Okay? Now,
Okay.
this right here is the high. It made a low here. After that low, it came and it did a lower high. At that point, then it came here, lower low.
Everyone wants to see Hakeem perform since the video went up. This
Came up here and do the lower high. Then it came here. Hold on.
like this. The kid Coachable story was picked up nationally. Megan McGann has been ranting about it all
Came
day,
here
saying
and
that it's irresponsible.
the lower low. That was when he came here to do this
Yeah, we're gonna put up another statement in this temperature.
lower high.
I'll go on our show.
See your TV screen now that's talking here.
Yeah.
It's a lower low, lower high.
And do you feel rap lyrics are a biggest influence on
Then
America's youth?
this lower low. Now, when you look at this is a perfect what? Downtrend. High here, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then finally, this high was the one that needs to be broken before we confirm that price is going up. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes.
As long as price is staying under the previous high, you don't just say it's going up. Like this place, you said, oh, this price is going up. It was just coming to retest this lower low here.
Okay.
So you might say this is the lower low. So it went up and it came down. But look at, it still came back up and respected this area here, even if it's not perfect. Is that clear? So when you are doing your charting, you have to consider this. As you can see how I spread my lows, identify my high, my low, my lower low, my lower high, lower low, lower high. See how I spread them. It's not like so close that you will not be confused. Okay, which one where should I identify? I choose the best one that suits my explanation. You understand? I choose the best one that suits what I'm looking for. So when you are charting as well, you don't just pick all of them. You pick the ones that suits you best, the ones that serves you best, the ones that are going to give you the money. Okay. Now, this is your next assignment. You need to come and identify all these lows and highs. Okay, so I have 2 assignments for you.
Okay.
Are you in the session? Are
You
you in the
said?
Zoom? This is Zoom session that you are or what?
I'm in the Zoom now.
With With Coach Adenike.
No, I'm not there.
All right. Now there are indicators that shows you the number of the high that the market moves and the lows. Country is free.
You said?
I said there are some indicators that are going to show you the number of, as in the high and the low. So you can use it to identify the lows and the highs. Okay? Now,
okay.
Let me now come back to the structures. Now, when I was explaining what a downtrend is, you see these red lines that went up, zigzag, zigzag, is actually the price movement. Now, this is still a downtrend. Do you know why? Because this high is not higher than this high. This can come like this. As long as this high did not remove this high, it is still a downtrend. This can come as equal as this. As long as this high did not remove this high, it's still a downtrend. Now, it can come as high as this. Yes, you are now starting to see the possibilities of an uptrend, but there is still another high here. There is still every tendency that this market will start returning back to the down, and it will drop add more when it comes all the way here. Because you are imagining that this has not happened. So, but if you look at this is already an harmonic pattern that is forming. So this can still be a downtrend. Reason being that this market is just trying to connect with this high, okay, before it comes down.
Okay.
You might be seeing something like this. Then when you bring your trend line, you might be seeing something like this. So before you make the decision, consider every possible move. Now, can you see that this is still a downtrend? But the rule is, when he removes this, let me make this black now. The rule is, once he removes this previous high, it is now preparing for what? An uptrend. Now, when you consider the move that is started from the upside, this high and this lower high, and you draw a trend line, these two are in alignment. So that's why the fact that price has removed this low, this lower high.
Okay.
That's why the fact that price has removed this lower high. The next resistance for it is what? This trend line. So when price hits the trend line, it's definitely going to drop. Is that clear?
Where's the trend line?
Now, this is this trend line. This black one here.
Okay.
Now, what I did was I connected these 2 points, point A and point B, which is the first eye and the lower eye, the second eye, when it's coming down. So sometimes we do like this, that this is the trend. Yes, if this is the trend and market has broken it, so it's now going up. But can you still think about the possibilities of this happening? Now maybe price is still respecting, maybe the trend started here, it came here, bounce. So this is still a trend. So until price has removed at least 2 highs before you can now say it's going up. Is that clear? So price
Yes.
remove I1, I2 before you now say it's going up. Now look at this one. Price was going up. It's still going up. So we expect this price to come back to this high before it starts going up. But look at it, it came close. It did not touch it. Are you
Yeah.
seeing that scenario now? Now, this
Yes.
is still a retest, even if it's not the exact area. Is that
What's the
clear?
retest?
Retest is when price comes back down to test a previous area that it has gotten to before. A pullback.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
when price goes up, it pulls back for a retest. It goes up, it pulls back for a retest. So when it breaks this high, there is every tendency that it will come back to the high, that area, that zone, before it will start pushing its way up. Okay. Now, your
Okay.
entries would be on the retest, the possible retest or pullback areas. That is where your entries are supposed to be. So it's not enough to say you are doing charting. Do you know what the price movement is? Price moving up, is price moving down, is price going sideways? Now that we have identified that price is going up, where are the entries? Where are the entries? How do we identify the entries? That is where we will now go to market structure. Okay? That's where we'll now go to what? Market structure. Now,
Market structure.
when price is moving, when price is trending downwards, it makes what? Some couple of reactions. Okay? Let's work with this.
Okay.
Let's work with this. When you look at this market, where you expect, where you market has gotten to, if you look at this market, this is the highest high.
Yes.
That's the what? Highest high. So this is now like the resistance. Okay? This is what? Resistance.
Okay. Resistance.
Okay? Now that that place is a resistance, price just started its move. Price came down. I'm starting from here now. Price came down. I made a loop here. This is now what?
Yes.
The support.
The support.
Now, this line, ordinary, is a support line now. Until when price breaks it. Now, price breaks it this first time, but it didn't confirm that it was going to go down. It came again, it broke it. It didn't confirm that it was going to go down until it eventually broke it here. Now, when price broke down, it made what? A new what? Low. So this is now the new low. This used to be the low. It broke, it bounces off it, and it went up. You buy what at the support, and you sell what at the resistance. Now, when price made a lower low, apart from this first one, now let's take it step by step. This was the second low.
Hold on, hold on.
Hold on.
And we sell at the rest.
Hold on.
Okay.
Price will always bounce off at the floor. Okay? Now, when price gets to where it's going to bounce, what you do is you buy. which is the support. When it gets to a resistance where it's going to hit before it drops, what you do is you sell.
Okay, at resistance.
Once price hits a resistance, it will come down. Once it hits a support, it's going to go up.
Okay.
Now, price started its move here and it came down. This was now a support because price hits it and it starts going up. So you are looking for what? Buys around this support. But when price came, it broke down. So now that it broke down, you now have what? A new support.
But
So you are still looking for your sell around this area. But when you look at this market, you see a lower high here. Right?
yeah.
Let's make the highs. Now that's what? A lower high. So you are still expecting that price is going to come to a what? Resistance. Now, where are other supports? Do you see another support? Look, when price went up, it did this. It did that. So between here and here, there is a support here. So when this price bounces off here, because this is the closest support when it was coming down, there is every natural sense that price is going to come to these two, either of these two, making this area an area of what? An area of interest. Okay?
Okay.
Making that area an area of interest. Why? You sell what at what? This resistance, and you buy
resistance and buy at the support. Buy at the support.
Now, price moved from this point to this point. You bought, you are looking for buy here. It went up. When it's coming down, it did a wave. It did this wave coming down, which means it came from here, it stopped here, it went up, and it made a resistance here. And it came down to break this one. Since it came down to break this one, where do you think it's natural that it's going to go to? This point. And that is why we have this area as area of interest. Reason being that when price cancels a level, it's going to go back to that area to continue its move. It's going to go back for a pullback. Okay? Once price cancels a level, it's going to go back to that level before continuing its move. So price broke, it makes a support here, it broke it, it came back to it. Now, don't forget, we still have a support here. And now price made, after going back to this point, from this point, it started going up. We didn't see this move because this was a new support. We didn't see this move. So you wait until he makes his move. Now that he made a support here and he came back, remember that this is your support, your original support. Now price came and crossed it above it. Because he broke it, we think that he's buying, he's selling, right? But when price crosses it back upward, because we still have a floor at that level, look at what happened. He came back to it and he bought. The market still continued its bullish run. Now, this is where you now wait for price to come to the best entry. Yes, there is an entry here. There is an entry here, but this is the best entry. When price made this major move down, it went up. There was a multiple touch here and something happened here before it dropped. So it's natural that price will come to this area. So what areas are you looking for? Are you just looking for any area, or you are looking for the ideal areas? That's the questions that you need to start asking yourself. Now, how do you find these areas? How do you find these areas? It is simple. Now, if you want to find the areas, it's simple. Look for an area where you see support and possible resistance. Okay? Now that price broke this level, it came to form a new what? Support. This is now the new support. It went up. You know, remember we still have a support. So this is already a buy zone. Just that immediately the market dropped, it was not ready. So you have to wait for confirmation before you go in. Okay? This is the confirmation that we are looking for. For price to, now that its price is in our buy zone, we know that it's in our buy zone. Now, when price is coming back up, what is it going to do? It's not going to rally up straight up. It's going to give you a little bit pullback before it continues move up. Do you understand? Every move that happened on the lower time frame, even if the market is trending downwards and it's a pullback, that pullback will also have those up and down waves. So price is always going to give you an opportunity to go in.
What's the pullback?
Pullback is when price is coming back. Woman of God, are you sure you watched your videos?
I watched the what are they calling it? The retest and the pullback is almost the same thing.
Yes, now you asked me for retest the other time. I explained. Now I said pullback.
It's like you are using different words for the same thing.
Now, do you know what is a pullback?
Yes, when the market is coming back.
Do you know what is a retest?
It's the same thing. So when the market is coming back to retest where it has been before.
Yes. Pullback. When something bounces off, it will come back down, right? So that's a pullback.
Yes.
There's a force that drags it back. Retest is a level that price has gotten to before, and price is trying to touch that level again. If price touches it, it's called a retest. Okay, so there is a tendency that price will always go back to retest a certain zone. Okay, but when price is trending, there will always be a pullback. There would what? Always be a pullback. Now, if you say in that sentence, that means you know the level. But a pullback
like
is back to a region. It is coming back to an area. Just like this red box you see here, it is an area. It's not a particular level.
Okay.
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 So let's move. Now that price has formed a new low, you now identify this as your new possible area of buy. Okay. Now look at what happened. Okay. Price went up, it came down. When it came to it, it struggled around that area before it eventually went up. So always wait for what? Confirmation before you go in. I'm going to teach you how to get the confirmations, but this session tonight is just market structure and trends. Okay? So now that we have established the fact that market is going down because it went sideways and it dropped, gave us a very deep low. Then we came back to that area. Then it went sideways again and it dropped. That explains the fact that price moves up, sideways, down, sideways, up, sideways, down sideways. That's how price moves. Okay, so it will always go
Okay.
on a consolidation phase, which is accumulation. Okay, it accumulates the orders, then it moves. Okay,
It's 10 o'clock.
it accumulates the orders and it moves. That's how it works. Okay,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
how it works. So now we have a new low. Price came down, struggled, so it made a new low. So eventually it started going up. Before you go in on the trade, now this is it. Before you go in on the trade, even if price has broken your level, I say, hey, I'm supposed to sell. I'm supposed to sell at this point. And price did this. Before you now decide that, oh, it has broken a resistance, let me look for a buy. Wait for this. Don't just come and buy here. Once you see this, wait for confirmation that he wants to go up. Because he will always give you this before it will go up. Okay? It broke it, right? For us to confirm that this thing wants to go up, it's going to come back down. And it will come back up again. Then it will now give you a shallow retracement before it starts going up. Now, this retracement is what is going to give birth to it coming back to this area. So now it will now go on a very, very big move. Then it will now come back down. In coming down, you know it's not going to be straight. It's going to be doing this coming down until it gets to this level. Then it will now start its move up back. Okay?
Okay.
This is what is going to happen. You will be thinking that, oh, market is going down, market is going down. You will not go back to price action and go and check what are the possible areas that price can retrace at. You'll just be looking at this one that, oh, this is a down move. Whereas price is just trying to correct itself. Now, what I mean by correction is this. When price moves on a very big move to the upside without all those waves, it is called imbalance. That's where you now see all those long candles. That is called imbalance. Price always likes to balance. So because price likes to be in balance, it will correct this abnormal move that just happened. So that's why you now see all reactions. So when you see all these reactions, the price is just simply trying to correct an abnormal move. After the correction, it will continue its move up. Are you following now?
Okay.
After its correction, it's going to continue its move to the upside. That is where you now know that, okay, price has continued this move. It is just a continuation. After a correction, it will go continuation. Sometimes we fail to identify if price is on a continuation phase or is trying to correct itself. We just jump in on the trade. Okay? So always wait for confirmations. Tonight, we are not talking about confirmations. We are just talking about trend and structure. Now, when price made this low, this is the lowest low. That's why I put my low here. From year to year, this is my low. It came to this lower high. This is the lowest high now before it dropped. So this will now be my move if I'm marking. I would say price moves from this resistance to this low. Then it came back to correct a support here. This is a support area. Now became new resistance before breaking. Did it break? Yes, it has removed that low. So this is what confirmed the down move. This N formation.
Okay.
Are we clear?
Yeah.
So when it comes to market structure, you want to wait for a previous structure to be taken out before you decide the direction of the market.
Okay.
Are you following now? Is the previous
Yes.
session, the previous support, has it been taken out? Which time frame are you looking at? Are you looking at the primary trend or you are looking at the secondary trend? What trend? What time zone? So when you say, oh, price has canceled my 15-minute area, where is the next place that is going to go to? The 1 hour area. Is that clear? Price is going to go to the 1 hour area. So why not wait for it at the 1 hour area? If it removes the 1 hour area, then you are sure that this market is not coming, it's not going my way. It's going the opposite direction. So try as much as possible to take as many data as possible, but try to keep it slim so that you don't confuse yourself with lines all over your chart. You don't know which of them is the best place to enter. But I hope we have set up a standard or a basics or a foundation for this class.
Yes.
So you see how price moves. So just look for the structures. When I mean structure, the support resistance. Now, it's not just a resistance line, it's a support resistance. Now that price, okay, now let's pick it up from here. We are looking for to sell the market, right? So this is the low. We are supposed to sell off at what? The low. Look at what price did. It came down, it broke it, then it went back to the low before it dropped. Okay, let me show you where it broke down to. It came to this point before going back up. Can you see it? It came down, then it went up. So now this is now your new low that you are looking to sell the market at after selling at this point. So when you sold here, you wait again for price to make what? A move. It broke this low now. Since price has broken this low, where else should you sell at this low? Because the low is now the new resistance. What confirmed the move that price is going down was this N formation. So now, let's now go down to the N formation. So price came down here. This is now the new support. Until price removes this support, you are looking for buys. So that's how price went up, came back to the support, and you took your buy, you won the trade. It took you to the previous support and it dropped. Take you there again. So you see how price was going sideways now. Now, when price broke the support, it came back to it here again, even if this one was not really that clear. You wouldn't have taken this trade because you didn't have confirmation. Now, price broke down and it came back to it again. Can you see it? Price broke and it came back to it again before it started dropping. That was how you took your sell and you won the trade. So now price has given us what? A new low right here. Price has given us a new low. So when price hit this low, what happened? It started going up. Remember that you have a low here as well. So naturally, when it comes back to the low, you are supposed to sell. So when it hits it the first time, it dropped. It came back, hits it again, it dropped. But when it came back for the third time, it broke it. Can you see how it broke it? So now that price has broken this your support, you can now look for buys at that level. So when it came back to it, boom, it went up, it bought, and finally it broke it to the downside. Now that it has broken it to the downside, what are you looking for? To sell at this level. Are you clear? You're looking to sell at this level. So when price came back to it again, you sell. So this is just market structure. Identifying the possible support resistance area. Okay, now price made a new low here. That's now our new low. So when price came to this low, what did he do? It bought. And it came close to it. What did he do? It bought. So now, until price remove this low, we are still seeing price as going up. So now, eventually, after the sideways move right here, price broke it. It came back, it broke it back to the upside, making this low here the valid one. This one, let me change it to green now. Validating this green line. So when it came down, naturally, this is a support, right? So we are still looking for what? Buys at the support because it broke it to the upside. So when it came down, that's how this struggling starts. Eventually, price gave us a support here now. So when it went up, it came back. Can you see how price has been moving? When it breaks a certain area and it goes back to it, anything that makes it break it, it will come back to it, test that area for a while, and it will keep going back up until when it's ready to break it. You see how the market is fighting like a tug of war to come down. When it comes, it makes a major move, it goes sideways. It makes a major drop, it goes sideways. It makes a major drop, it goes sideways. Can you see it?
Yes.
After every major move, price goes sideways. These are things you need to put in the back of your head. So try as much as possible to identify the moves. So now that price eventually started broke it. Now we have. Now the more areas you pick, the more you can slim down the chances of your entry. Now look at it. We took this low. Price eventually broke it. Then when it came back to it, the first time we took our trade, early entry, we cleared. It came back again, we took another early entry, boom. And that's how we won the trade. It came again, it took an early entry. So where is the next area that it needs to break? That's the point. This is the structure. It needs to remove this structure. Now look at it here. Immediately remove the structure. It came back to it again, tested it, and it dropped. It came back to it again, tested it, and it dropped. Please use an area maximum of 2 times. Don't use it more than 2 times. Okay?
Okay, hold on. All these charts now. We have green lines, we have black lines, and we have red lines. For a sell, we are going for the red lines. We leave the blue lines alone or the black lines.
Please.
I don't get
Please.
all those lines are valid.
Hello. For the benefit of this session, forget about everything you have learned before. Focus on what you are seeing now.
Okay.
I know you know all those color coding, but I'm just showing you market structure. I'm not showing you any other thing apart from market structure.
Okay.
How market moves. It can be a red line.
Okay, now I see. Okay. Okay, is that okay? Hold on. These are lower lows, higher lows. Number one is for the downtrend. Number two, those lower lows, those lower highs, those charts. Abby. Or you're just identifying the market.
And remove this moment. Now, what we are trying to do is we are trying to what? Understand trends and market structure. These two work together. And I told you there are two types of trends. There is a downtrend, there is an uptrend.
Uptrend,
and when
yes,
it
and there's a
comes to a
consolidation.
downtrend, you see series of high, low, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs.
Lows.
Now, in this drawing, I made this looks like this. And I told you that sometimes this might still be a downtrend until this lower high, the previous high is removed, is still a downtrend. Now, and I extended this to this point. Now, this point is higher than this, right? This point is called a higher high than this one. But still yet, I told you that it can still be a downtrend. Reason being that when you put your trend line from the beginning of the market and connect two dots in the past and drag it all the way to the present, you still see that market is still trading under the trend. That's the reason why I said it is still a downtrend. Reason being that though it canceled this low, this high, but there is still an high above here that is still under. And if you look to the left, you will see that it is almost like retesting this area again, this previous low.
Yes. Okay, hold on. This is your previous low and this lower high. You know, if you connect it together, can you identify that place as a retest?
Yes.
Okay.
So as long as price is staying under the trend, it's still going downwards. If it's still above, it's going up. Then the second scenario that I told you about is this. When price is going, let's say it's going up, and you say that it's going to come back to retest the previous high. What price did was he just came back for a little pullback, then he continued his move up. He just did a little pullback and he continued his move up. That doesn't mean that, oh, by the end of this your training, you are going to see various ways to identify where price will definitely come to touch before it will go up. We are going to do all that, but for today's session, we are just focusing on trend, identifying the trend and the structures. Now, where I started putting lines is just to make you understand that, okay, there is a structure here, there is a structure here. And when I talk about structure, I'm looking at areas where I see possible support and resistance. Is that clear? Now, looking at this chart, price started its move from here, it came down. Let's say from this high, it came down. That was how I got this what? Support. So when it went up, it came back to test one of these support that is here. While on his way down, he made a move. So he came back to these areas, then he started dropping again. So since price after removing this support, it came down and made a new support here. So we are looking to sell around the previous support, which is the previous market structure. So when it came there, he really struggled hard. That means the market doesn't want to go up. It wants to continue its move down. So finally, eventually, it started coming down. So when it came down, it came as low, a little bit lower than the previous area. So we marked out that area because we are trying to narrow our entry down because we are doing high frequency forex. So every area is important. Okay. Now, because of the example that I shared with you, when price is going to do a shallow retracement, which is a shallow pullback and it's going to go up. So that's why we are trying to identify this one as well. But this is the original one. So what did price do? He came, he broke, he retested it, and boom, he dropped. So now, when it broke, did it do any support? Did it form any structure? Yes, it did. So where is the structure? This is it. So now you are looking for sell. You now know the new area. Some people say, oh, trade left us. It didn't left us. It's still coming back. That's why it came back. We entered here and boom. Walk away trade. This is what we do when we talk about market structure. If price is coming down, where are the areas that is going to bounce off? If price is going up, where are the areas? We want to see the areas. Because price is going up, let's now look for them. This is resistance, right? What did you do? Price went up, came back to retest it. Now this is a resistance. What did price do? We finally broke it, came back to retest it. If you continue, this is another area. This one price did not respect it. This was another area. So you know that at resistance, you do what? You sell. At support, you buy. So now when a resistance is being removed, when I mean removed, price has passed a previous resistance. So that makes that previous resistance a new support. So you are anticipating that price will come back to the previous resistance that it has removed to make that area a new support. Does this make sense now?
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yes, yes.
So this is what I want you to go back and practice, okay? Just identify this for me. Okay?
I should. You said I should.
Now, let me show you how to identify trend. Now, how do I identify a trend? Connect two or more dots. This can be considered a downtrend, but you can also do this. All I'm trying to do is to connect as many dots as possible. I connected this, this, and this to confirm a sell. You see how this was the sell trend. Price broke it and you say, oh, price is coming down. So when price came to this point and it started dropping, You cannot say, oh, it will come here and it will not go up. Yes, it will react at the trend line, but there is a possibility for price to continue its move. So that's why I now draw the second trend line like this to make sure that price does not play a quick one on me. But when price removes all these two areas, we can now decide to go in for the buy. And that is what happened when price removed this one as well, the trend. Okay? So price always moves in waves. It goes up and it comes down. When it's coming back down, it is going to come back to a previous market structure. It's going to come back to what? A previous market structure. So that is why you need to pay attention to details. Study the trend first. What is the trend? Then what is the market structure? What are the formations that the market is currently giving? Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So that's all for today's session. Okay? Get back and go identify these areas for me. Okay?
Okay. I should identify the trend of the market.
Identify the trend and also market structures. Now, always put a note in what you are doing. Always keep a note. Type it in on the chat. Let me know why this is a downtrend, why this is an uptrend, and what are the areas you are looking at for market structure. What are the structures that price can get to for it to continue its move downwards or going upward.
Can I get a question?
Now, the assignment, I remember I first of all gave you one assignment. Go and identify the sideways moves. I want to see all those sideways moves in the market.
Okay.
I want you to show me the sideways moves that you see there. Then apart from that, the next thing is there. Go ahead and show me what trend, using what? The trend line, identify the trends. Then the last thing is what? Go and identify the market structures. Always explain yourself with notes. Keep your notes on the charts.
That market structure, and I don't know the same thing.
Huh?
The trend and the market structure.
Those are the final ones. Making it 3 assignments.
Hold on. I'm saying, hold on. This market structure and the trend, they're not the same thing. The structure is the series of highs and lows.
Have you been in this class?
I've been here, like, and I've been your highs and your lows. That's the market structure. Why the trend is the the uptrend, the down,
Now, listen. This is how I identified my trend. I connected what? 2 dots or more. So I can now call this what? A downtrend.
Okay.
Considering the fact that in the example right here, we say that a downtrend has series of high, low, lower high, lower low, right? So now, for me to confirm it's a downtrend, I
Yeah.
need to identify this at least 2 or 3 lower lows, lower highs, sorry. Now, for an uptrend, you need to identify 2 or 3 higher lows. So now, since I am looking at the trend,
Hey, come back, please. For a downtrend, you have to have series of lower lows.
for a downtrend, identify at least 2 or 3 lower highs. That's connect 2 or 3 dots to the downside. What are the dots? 2 or 3 lower highs. As in this, as you can see, these 2 lines. This one I connected 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 that were connected here. So if you do it like this, it also works. You bring it like this. This also makes sense, depending on what you are looking at.
For
Any
an
question?
uptrend,
For an uptrend, because market is going up, because market is going up, I'm going to connect reason why I feel it's going up. Where is market bouncing off from? Is there a mistake? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. That's an uptrend.
what about the market structure?
I've told you before that trying to identify the market structure is this. The market is moving downwards or upwards, it's going to make some waves. Where you see a support, you identify the support. Where you see a resistance, identify a resistance. If it is going down, it will come back to previous support before it will drop. That is market structure that I'm telling you. Just identify the support and the resistance.
Okay, hold on. You said I should do it with a note. Like, what am I going to be writing when identifying them?
Use your text tool on TradingView. Write the reason. Downtrend, uptrend. Let's see it on the chart as you are
Okay, when I'm
screenshotting.
submitting.
I did not say chart box. Chart. Chart. This is a chart. This right in front of you is a chart. I'm not talking about Messenger. These write-ups you are seeing on my chart, this is what I want to see.
I get you. I'm saying, when am I submitting?
I'm submitting by tomorrow now.
Our next class.
I want to see it before the class.
What time is our next class?
Submit this one by tonight. Get this done by tonight.
This night. Okay, now. When is our next class?
Are you done? Is that all the questions?
Yes. When is our...
All right.
Okay, hold on.